Nobody has an idea that I run the Hedges Run Club, and I don't care. I don't give a damn. It's a community where everybody there is equal. I'm not different just because I put the time in and I respond to people and I make sure that everybody rocks up and shows up and I provide my cart for people to put the stuff and I bring a bit of water. It doesn't make a big difference. I have so many benefits out of that where I don't need more benefits.
Yeah.
I don't need more things to come to me, to come for me, to happen for me from Hedges Run Club. I already fill up my cup on a Wednesday. I do events with my friends. I've created amazing friendships and I'm content with that.
Do your thing, chicken wing.
We reinvent ourselves every few years. Like, it's good to have 6 months goals, 1 year goal, 3 year goal, 5 year goal, 10 years goals. But the reason you have to go back to those goals and not just set them and look at them in 10 years and say, did I hit them? The reason you look at them every now and then is because we change as people so much. And it comes down to a lot of things, your relationships, how you live, how you eat, how you sleep. There's an unlimited amount of things that can change you and make you who you are. But everybody has a shit story to tell. Everybody you look at has something that they're not proud of, that they're not happy with, have done things that they could have done different to have their life, for their life to be better today, but they didn't. And I'm one of them, and I'm very open about everything that I did when I was younger. I could have done things differently, but I didn't know differently. And I'm very proud that I did it with 26 years old, that I decided to make that change and just literally changed from one day to another. I made that change. And I would never look back and say I would change my life, because I wouldn't change a day of it from the old good days, the craziness, the parties, the weed, the travels, the everything I did, because it was crazy. It was me. It was who I needed to be back then to be where I am today. And yeah, the butterfly effect. I say, we all know what it is, right? Like, you change one little thing in the past and your whole life, the whole trajectory of your life is so different. So different.
Why did your eyes get so big?
That's scary to think.
It's true.
It's like if you change one little thing. It's true, the ripple effect actions have.
Very true.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you're like, you should, re-look at your goals and see, does that actually suit the person I am now? Because, again, if we had Mini Lucas and Mini Freddie in the room, if you look back on what they wanted back then, you'd be like, man, what are you talking about? Like, I literally found videos of me from 5 years ago, and I was like, huh? I was cringing at myself because I was like, oh my God, she just thought so differently. Even, do you guys ever look at photos of yourself? I look at photos of myself from the beginning of the year. Oh, okay, we're in January. Okay, I'm talking about maybe mid last year or something. And I'm literally I don't recognize her. I might look the same, but I I think about how I perceive the world and what I wanted. And I'm even in a year, so much has changed that I'm cringing at her.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Will you answer for us how Andy 5 years ago would look at you today?
Oh, okay. Wait, hang on. Let me do some quick math.
18.
I'll be 17, 18. She would be bloody stoked. She'd be like, fuck yeah, you moved to the coast? You have a podcast? I was like, what? And I was like, you've made friends with people who are just as crazy as you? That would be one of the biggest ones. Because I think definitely in school and even at uni, I was always just feeling so different. And I know everyone's, different. Everyone's unique. I know that. But I always just was nah. I just never thought I'd find people who were just on the same wavelength with me. And honestly, it wasn't until I moved to the Gold Coast where I met people just as fucking crazy in the best way possible. So I feel she'd be so stoked with the people that she's met. Yeah.
Certainly. I can relate to that 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All the crazies on the Gold Coast. So if you're crazy, come on down.
Yes. Don't hesitate. There is a lot of craziness for you to pick up on.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just embrace your craziness and see where you end up, like me.
Yes, exactly.
What did bring you here to Australia?
Butterfly effect. I met.
And what was that?
I met Cam.
Oh, yes.
While I was studying abroad in Denmark. And the way we met was we have a mutual friend. We were in a philosophy class together. We hadn't talked at all. We found ourselves in like a 30-second elevator during a 5-minute break. And in the elevator, he asked me if I wanted to go surfing with him.
That is crazy.
In the north of Denmark, like in the cold.
Life is crazy. Wow.
What?
And I was like, yeah, I got some people I can bring. He's like, okay, cool. We're going tomorrow. So he rented a car. I brought 2 of my friends. He brought one of his friends. That was Cam. He had met Cam like the day before.
Oh, so you met your friend in the elevator. This isn't Cam.
Yeah,
were you working there or were you studying there?
Studying. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, and then he bought Cam. Okay, butterfly effect. Imagine if you had decided, oh, I don't want to take a break. I'll just stay in this lecture hall or
That's
wherever.
exactly what I wanted
Isn't
to
that
say.
so weird?
Comes down to, again, having
or
fun.
if he didn't fucking ask me in the 30-second elevator.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so those 5 of us, we were like, we played poker every week.
Oh my God. That's such a
Poker
guy
player.
thing.
Yeah. Let's go. Down.
Yeah, we
Down.
should play.
We should play someday.
Yeah.
100%.
Cool.
It's been a while for me.
Me too.
A long time. Go on. Sorry.
That's the story. Cam, I stayed in touch with him, and he connected me with the startup here.
Amazing.
And so here I am 4 years later.
Is that specifically what you studied? Is that why, or
No, I started doing data analytics, data science, and so, and he knew that, and they were looking for a data scientist, and he was like, I know the guy.
I know the
I know the guy for it. There you go.
He just wanted you to move to Australia, didn't he?
Something like that.
No, but imagine if somebody decided to catch this, like go down the stairs instead of the elevator. I can't stop thinking about this.
Is he Aussie?
Cam is Aussie.
Yeah, there you go. That means you guys can surf now whenever you want.
Yeah. We are surfing. We are surfing. It's
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I wasn't even a surfer. I don't even know why I said yes. I had been like 2 times. Yeah.
You said yes because you said yes. Doesn't matter why you said yes.
Yeah. I mean,
and maybe you said yes because of this.
Yeah, maybe because of this. To meet you guys.
To be here.
Wow. Bang. There you go.
Deep.
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 And the only reason I met Freddie is because Cam got invited to Jackson's 21st, so I was there and he was there. And then because they were traveling, Freddie was there too. So there you go.
You.
Ripple effect. Crazy.
Communities.
Communities.
Getting to know people.
Yeah.
I actually was in my car yesterday and I was driving and I was thinking about things and I thought about one phrase. I actually have it on my phone. Come on. You don't build wealth you don't build wealth by making friendships. You build wealth by creating friendships. Like you can make friends with anybody, right? But actually creating a friendship is the hardest part at the beginning, I would say.
Like investing in it and stuff.
The beginning is the hardest part always.
Yeah.
Like creating the friendship for it to start. Like making a friend, hey mate, how are you? I'm Lukas, nice to meet you. But actually creating the friendship at the start where you're like, actually, this is more than just like small talk. What's your name? My name is this. Okay, cool. Where you actually spend the extra few minutes together and you're interested in that person. And this one conversation you have of identity, which brings us into a podcast talking about identity. It's just, that's basically why I came up with it. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense why I'm always so interested in spending a few more minutes and asking a couple more questions with people and finding out a bit more. Always ended up in a really good place.
Yeah.
In the long run.
It's so interesting which people, like we meet so many people that we like, and just a small subset of those people are the ones who we actually end up being friends with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I met a whole bunch of people up here on the Gold Coast, and maybe I'll come back or maybe not, but maybe you guys will come to Sydney, and there's certain ones who we feel like, oh, we liked each other, we had a good interaction, but we don't really know each other enough to really even message each other when we're in the same city. But just because, like you said, one sentence, and then we come here, I hope that when you come to Sydney, you'll message me and we'll meet up and we'll have a good time and we'll strengthen our friendship more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And those things could just like not happen. It's so weird, that line. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it'll happen if it's meant to happen. But I also feel like because we've all traveled a lot, we're very much like if we were in Sydney, of course would message and say hey. But I think people who don't travel much think like, oh, maybe they don't want to hang out. Like maybe it's weird or something. But it's like, even if you've just met someone very briefly and you're in their country, in their city, like they would love it if you message them.
Yeah,
So
it's
guys,
so special.
message them.
You understand them. That's why, because you know how it is. When you're traveling, you'd like somebody to message you if you're there, and it will make you feel like, oh, he actually did message me, even though he had so many other things to do.
Yeah,
It makes you feel really good, and then you obviously want to show those people around.
yeah, it's so special being able to show people around.
So have you lived in England? I understand that.
Sorry?
You lived in the UK?
Yes, I've lived in the UK.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo.
What's next?
What is next?
What is another good question?
Can I answer a rapid fire question?
Yes. Bang, bang, bang.
Do you want me to ask another question? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, can I do it?
Do it.
Okay.
Hit him.
So what is it?
Knock
One
him out
word
of his seat.
answers or
It's just whatever pops into your mind the quickest.
It doesn't
Okay.
have to be
First thing.
it doesn't
one
have to
word
be
or
one.
it can be
No,
a sentence
It
as
can be a
well?
sentence.
Can be more than
Just
that.
not a monologue.
Okay.
Okay. What is your favorite quote? Or is it the one you said before?
No. My favorite quote. Hard. Favorite ever.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Freddie goes first.
Moving on. Okay, Freddie, what's your favorite quote?
Oh no.
Oh my God, everyone's freaking out.
It's hard to have your favorite of all time because then you got to stick with it.
No,
I don't
you
know-
don't.
I don't
You're
know
allowed
my
to
favorite.
change.
Oh jeez. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really think in terms of quotes, but I really like I never remember something word for word.
Oh, okay. Just the gist of it.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know. I feel like in like 2 sentences, or so, this is not a quote, but in 2 or 3 sentences, Kierkegaard, the Danish philosopher, the most famous Danish philosopher, he talks about getting lost in the infinite or lost in the finite. We are always either lost in the infinite or lost in the finite, and that is so. And when we're lost in the infinite, that's like we're lost in the infinite number of possibilities. And that he calls that the dizziness of freedom or anxiety. Mm-hmm. And when we face all of the possibilities that we could do, like that we could leave, that we could just destroy this room in right now. We just face all the crazy things we could do, and we see just like we're scared of ourselves because we could just do anything that could ruin our lives in a moment, or we get petrified because and when you're lost in the infinite, you don't. I know this is not a quote, but yeah, he says it.
It's interesting.
In a briefer way.
Yeah.
And so when you're lost in the infinite, you don't act because you're just scared.
Right. You're like paralyzed by options.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the other end of the spectrum is being lost in the finite, and you give yourself an identity. You put yourself in a box. You say, I'm a runner. I'm a doctor. That's all I'm going to be. That's all I'm ever going to be. And then you just don't face the truth, all the possibilities of life. So like for me, it's about like finding that balance. But he says that like either way, it's painful, and like life is painful in that sense.
Okay. It's a really happy quote.
But the thing that the better end of the spectrum is being lost in the infinite and just finding a way to act despite the paralyzing
Yeah.
fear. So it kind of is related to what we've been talking about. It's like, yeah, maybe act even if you don't know the best thing, and know that there could have been better things you could have done, and there are unknown butterfly effects, but just go with it and do what you can.
Yeah, well, I guess it's just like trusting that whatever you're picking
Interesting.
will lead you to it.
Interesting. That's good.
I think a lot of people can relate to that whole infinite opportunities and then feeling overwhelmed by it. It's like when I graduated from uni, I was like, oh my God, there's so many things I can do. Which one is the right one? But then it's just like, she'll be
It doesn't
right.
matter because you never know.
Yeah, you
if
never
the
know.
other one will be the right one.
Yeah, as long as you're having fun and learning
Yeah.
and growing, that's
If you've never done
good.
the other one, you never know if it was the right one. Like, everybody hears, we all hear quotes, we all hear the same thing from different speakers. They just say the same thing in some way, just with different words.
Yeah.
And when you hear it from that one person that you relate a bit more to, and they say it, then you you immediately click. You're like, oh, I know I've heard this a million times, but it actually clicked. I actually understood it this time. And it was like, I saw a video from Gary V.
Oh, Gary.
Gary V, the absolute legend.
Great guy.
Oh, he's special. He's got this energy. But he was on stage and people were asking him like regret, etc. And what would you do different? He's like, I don't know what I would do differently. He says, I'll just tell you an example. I had one of my best mates. He says, really good friend. I was in the room when Uber was created. And they told me to invest, he said, like $25,000 in it to help them start it, which was nothing for me. But I just didn't believe in the concept, he said. I just didn't believe in it. Stupid me. I'm not perfect, you know? And I didn't put my money in there. If I would have put my money in there, I would now be a multi-billionaire most likely, because I would have made so much money that I would have reinvested and obviously grown way more than I would have already. But it could have been as well that if I would have invested the money in there and I would have made all that fortune and fame and wealth, I would be invited somewhere in a country to give a speech, and I would be crossing the street and a bus would just run me over. Yeah. And just, I don't know why, but it clicked in my head so much that I was like, yes, exactly. Like if you would have done different back then, all you got to think of, it could have ended up in a bad way, in a weird way.
Yeah. But I also think it's dangerous toying with the idea of like thinking, oh, what if I had have just chosen this? Because again, that could happen. Or it's just like, what is the point of like being like, oh, imagine if I had have just invested in Uber. It's like maybe he can just use that lesson, and maybe he wouldn't be the guy he is today because he wouldn't have hustled as much, or he wouldn't have, kept going on the route he is.
It wouldn't have needed to inspire that many people. Has done it out of goodwill. It would have been too busy running a business, I reckon, or helping Uber to grow.
Yeah.
I guess.
There you go. Hashtag no regrets.
No regrets, definitely.
So we totally fucked up the rapid fire question.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I knew that was going to happen.
Rapid fire. They're hard. Oh,
Monologues.
And then I just do.
Ding, 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 ding. Right in there.
God, I'm killjoy. No monologues.
What's your favorite quote?
I'll ask a question.
Oh,
please.
Okay, yeah.
What is the most inspiring thing that you have heard lately in the last 3 months, in the last 6 months, that has helped you a bit more in life, that has changed your perspective or made you think in a different way? Or
that's a really good question. I'm going to have to think of that. Hang on.
Could be a podcast, could be a quote, could be something that a friend of yours did or somebody else did. Could be anything. Doesn't have to be something specific. If you have it.
Do you have one?
Mine is like it's another philosopher.
Okay.
I learned about Nietzsche more recently.
That's awesome.
And somehow I'm able to pursue happiness a little bit more, as he's connected some things in my brain about something related to what I've already been saying, that like we don't necessarily know what the truth is, and we can't wrap our head around it. So maybe stop trying and just and there might not be one way, but it's all about the way you frame your life and your perspective and your purpose, and you kind of have control over that. So choosing your path on purpose, choosing your philosophy on purpose, not to find what's true, but just to find what's going to help you the most. Something like that.
Yeah. There's no truth.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say the only really true thing in this world is that we're all going to die.
Bang. Mic drop.
Give me one else. One more.
Taxes.
One more read.
That's just you don't
Go to Dubai, mate. There's no taxes there.
Yeah, go to Monaco, you're fine.
You don't pay anything.
Probably
Gravity. You have it everywhere here. You go out of space, no gravity. Right? Like water. Have they discovered water in other planets? They say they have, but have they touched it? Have they drunk it? Is it water? You know, and like it is there. I know it's there. The only thing we all know it's there. Come on, let's be honest. Such a multi-big.
This is not something
universe.
I've thought about. Potentially, yeah.
But what about death? Nobody has ever been able to skip it.
But can you confirm that when you die, what happens if it actually turns around? There's just like a second planet and you just like have the same life, but with all the dead people, and they're just like, oh, prank guys, you don't actually die. You just come over to this, you enter this portal. So is it actually death?
But that's...
We don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
exactly.
True. So nothing is really true. Nothing is 100% in life. Not even death.
So our whole life was a lie. Oh, okay. What were we talking about?
You asked for inspiration.
Did you think of anything?
Oh, probably a conversation I actually had with Maverick. Shout out to Maverick if you're listening. And he does skydiving and he has really good content on his Instagram. And I was like, Maverick, you should make your Instagram public because these videos would go viral effortlessly. And then he was saying how like he has so many friends because he's from Hawaii and he has like pretty cool friends who do skydiving or like are content creators. And he's like, I just see people who do that and then go big and then they're just not being their true selves, and it's just like all for the content and for the gram. And he's like, I just want to keep doing these fun things for me and like not like I have it on private for a reason because I don't want to just like go viral and be like, oh, I need to do this skydive because I need to shoot this content for this, you know? And that just made me think. I was like, wow, I don't know. I just really loved that. I was like,
good.
That's really cool. And he's like, I just have that content for me. And then that inspired me to kind of, and I know I'm no Joe Rogan or anything, but that just made me be like, okay, I want to have my separate Instagram account for my podcast and for me so that my personal page can be just for me and content that I just enjoy creating, not just because like I want to grow my Instagram. I can grow my podcast, that's fine. But I'm like, cool, I just want to have that for me. So that really helped shift things. I was like, I really love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All good Maverick.
Oh, good Maverick.
Absolute legend. Have you met Mav? You must have met him at Hedges.
Yes, you did meet him.
I just
Remember
said hi.
Taylor and Maverick?
Yeah.
Just said hi. Yeah.
Said a quick hi.
Yep.
Maverick and Taylor.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had a towel over his head. He looked like a nun.
He just woken up. It was big grumpy for the morning.
Anyone's
Grumpy
welcome.
Maverick. Anyone's what?
Welcome at the event.
Exactly. Whatever mood you're in.
100%.
Yeah.
Good podcast. I actually enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I've
me
learned
three.
a lot. First 3-person podcast
Yeah.
for Andy.
Mhm.
Have you done?
Well, actually,
3?
I had like just a very sloppy one. Like I told you, we were at a cafe
Oh, was that with
next
the bus?
to a bus stop,
Oh.
and then we had 2 microphones. And if my brother wanted to talk, we had to give it to him.
Oh, no. You'd be like, can I have the talking stick?
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty funny, but it's just like it's so casual.
Mm.
My opinion about this, like what Maverick was saying, is that I'm really trying to. I like see all 3 sides. That you can do something just for fun, and just do it because you love it, and then you can get caught up in doing something just for growing it and so on. But I think it's kind of like life in the sense that if you do something you truly love in exactly the way you love it, and you keep doing it like that, you'll never feel the pressure to do something that you don't love. Because if people start to love it, you can just keep doing what you love, if that makes sense. So if I just make the podcast exactly what I enjoy doing, then I'll never have the pressure to do something I don't love.
Yeah.
But also you have to do some like marketing and like promoting, and maybe that doesn't represent exactly what you love or something like this.
But do you reckon you care still about the growth in that moment?
I think
because you want, of course, this little baby, this thing that you started to obviously grow and become, because the same, I'd say, with anything that you start.
Right.
You want it to grow, become, and then just let it out to the world in some way.
I guess it just becomes a problem if you realize that the stuff that's most popular is like you realize that if you did something that you don't really love, you would become more popular.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to decide between doing that or not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely something that goes around in the world a lot.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And it can be very tempting to just, okay, well, if I just change it a little bit, then I can keep doing what I love, and it will be supported by this thing I don't love as much. And it'll be worth it. But then where do you draw the line?
Yeah. Where do you draw the line? That's a good way to put it.
I feel like it's knowing your values and why you're doing what you're doing. So when I'm posting on my podcast page, I love making those reels and those like snippets of people saying like golden nuggets, because then it incentivizes them to go like watch it. But then I also love just like the fact that you can get, like, if people don't want to listen to the whole episode, they can just see that snippet.
Golden nuggets.
And they can see the golden nugget and get a good takeaway. So I enjoy posting that content, but I know exactly what you mean, because I've actually had people reach out to me to be like, can I come on your podcast? And some of them have a lot of followers and some of them have the sickest network. And it is so tempting to be like, yeah, okay, because then you get the views and then you get the network. But then it always comes back. I'm always like, why did I start this? What is the impact I want to have? Yes. And then once I answer that, I'm like, okay, no, they don't fit it. So I'm like, if I can stay true to my values when I'm like this small, then when I'm big, I'm not going to be tempted because I'm like, well, no, I don't know. If that does that make sense?
Yeah,
totally
100% makes sense.
And now it's like easy to say no to them because I'm like, no, I need to stay true to my values the whole way.
Same for me in Hedges. Hedges Run Club. Like, I'd say every single person that rocks up there or every single person that texts doesn't know it's me. Nobody has any idea that it's me that runs the place or runs the Instagram or responds to them. Yeah. Nobody has an idea that I run the Hedges Run Club. And I don't care. I don't give a damn. It's a community where everybody there is equal. I'm not different. Just because I put the time in and I respond to people and I make sure that everybody rocks up and shows up and I provide my cart for people to put the stuff and I bring a bit of water, it doesn't make a big difference. I have so many benefits out of that where I don't need more benefits.
Yeah.
I don't need more things to come to me, to come for me, to happen for me from Hedges Run Club. I already fill up my cup on a Wednesday. I do events with my friends. I've created amazing friendships and I'm content with that. I'm so happy. If more things happen organically without me pushing and trying and doing a lot of, I don't know, crazy work on it, I'll take it. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
You'd be stupid if you say no. Something grows and good things happen for you. But at the same time, I'm not like, oh, yeah, I need to grow now. I need to post this and I need to do this. I don't care.
Yeah, you're having fun.
Yeah.
That's so
we said
I'm
that.
just enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about the process and the way you grow, not how it's perceived. Not, something like that.
If you try to grow too fast as well, it's visible. If you try to do too hard work on something that is made to be more creative and more value purposed, but then it becomes growth purposed, it is visible. People see it, people feel it, people understand it. So you just want to let it grow, let it be, let it happen and let it flow the way it has to.
Yeah, organically. Love it.
And then the right people show up and then the right things happen and the right events happen and then all those kind of things then just roll to, being around for a year and having good fun with everybody that shows up.
Patience.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Very important.
Yeah.
Something that you learn through life, and I was never a patient person.
Now he's like, I swear I am, universe. Yeah, I saw this video and it was like everybody wants to like blow up overnight, but actually that's not what they want. They want a community that will come with them and believe in them. And it's so true. Imagine if like Hedges Instagram just like blew up all over Gold Coast and like 1,000 people rocked up. It's like you wouldn't have the time to build that community or camaraderie. So it's like you actually want the slow burn, even though we think we want the outcome. And I listen to so many podcasts and all the people who have made it always talk about how the building and the journey was the funnest bit. So I keep being like, okay, sick. I'm literally in the funnest bit.
Wow. That's so good that you see that.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. I don't know. I find that fun.
Similar, Mega Run, like biggest community in the Gold Coast, fitness running community. So many people rock up here and in Brisbane. Biggest running community, I think, in Australia.
Whoa.
They have obviously overseas as well. There's a lot of happening with them. And they just grew so bloody fast. They had locations everywhere, just people just running places. And they were just like, oh, this is not only not quality and fun anymore, we can't sustain it. And then they just pulled back and only did basically their specific locations that they have, which was I think like only 5 locations. And then slowly but surely now, once they know and they have the guidelines in place to make it fun and beneficial and exciting for people, which are basically the kind of values I think that they have, now they're ready to actually grow again.
Yeah.
Make sure they grow the right way.
Yeah. So good.
Just gotta have fun at it.
Fun.
Fun.
Fun is the theme.
Dang a dang 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 dang.
Rang-a-dang-dang.
Amazing. So do you guys have any final questions or notes on identity that we didn't get to?
I'm pretty good.
I'm pretty good.
I'm cold, so I'm ready to wrap this up.
Yeah,
Okay.
my feet. I'm like, oh,
I accidentally didn't shut that, so it's like freezing.
I'm not
With my
cold,
hands.
buddy. Oh my goodness,
It's so
Oh my
cold.
God.
so cold. My hands are warm, but my feet are so.
I just
Let
wanted
the-
to hold
let
your
the-
hand.
let the
Oh,
viewers-
oh, oh.
Little
Let
feet.
the viewers feel your hand.
Feel the coldness.
Oh, it's been fun. Fred, thanks for having me around. Thanks for the setup, Andy. I really
No
appreciate
worries.
it.
Thank you so much.
I really
guys.
enjoyed the chat.
Yeah.
Always nice to share a little bit and have a chat and get to know a couple more people
Mm.
a bit more. Definitely.
And if people want to find you on Instagram and Hedges,
Hedges.
would you like to plug that?
Yes, Hedges Run Club, definitely. More people join us, happier it is, the more relaxed we are. I mean, it's open to everybody. Anybody that wants to join can join.
Mhm.
You don't have to run. You can walk, bring your friends, jump in the ocean after with Mind Pack, and then have a coffee.
Yeah, I usually just go to Mindpack. I don't even do
Exactly.
the swim sometimes. I just come for the socials and
For the
coffee.
socials, networking. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Do what you want
Do what you want.
and do it well.
Yeah. Whatever
Do it
gets
with
you
a full heart
excited.
and a big smile.
Drink coffee well. Have fun.
Yes.
Have fun.
Do you want to plug your podcast?
You can find it. It's called Altitudes with Andy. We're on Instagram at Altitudes with Andy. We're on Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube, all the things. So yeah, there you go.
A lot of attitude there.
Check it out. It's
So much attitude. It's crazy.
She covers so many different topics. You will for sure find something, an episode that you're
Interesting.
interested in.
A nugget, a golden nugget.
Yeah.
And what are your socials, Freddie?
My socials. I'm on Instagram as Freddie Lancia. Freddie Lancia.
Lancia, I love the last name.
I
Lancia.
always say Lancia. It's the Italian way.
Ooh,
Lancia.
sounds like lunch, huh?
Lunch, huh? Who's ready for lunch, huh?
Oh.
I'm a little hungry.
I'm definitely hungry.
Let's think about that. Let's think about that soon. Yeah, just check out the Post Definitions podcast. Check out the other episodes. Shout out to these conversations I had with Burju and Sia and Tyler. Those ones are sick. Check those out.
Those are cool names. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
See
See
ya.
ya. This is us logging off. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Enjoyed.
Have a good day, guys. Bye. Wow. I'm so cold. Yay. Woo.
That was fun. My feet are definitely cold. I'm not gonna lie, but the rest is pretty warm. If I remember the last podcast I did with the boys, it's basically one of the bedrooms. One of the bedrooms in this house in Mermaid, and it was so hot.
Oh, yeah, no, usually it's boiling,
I was
isn't it?
sweating.